Ladies and gentlemen, we've got something very exciting today. We are going to be exploring a brand new zone in TBC Classic. I am very excited. Just to clarify, so when I say it's a brand new zone, I mean I've run through it to get to Shatrath City. I have run to one of the towns, but I haven't done any questing or anything like that. So I guess I shouldn't technically say it's a brand new zone, but I haven't done any questing or really much of exploration at all. I've gotten some dungeons done. I think Mana Tombs is over there, but other than that, it's going to be a totally new zone. So I'm really excited to explore that, do some questing. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's day 27 of the 100-day challenge. We're going strong. It's going great. We're learning. We're growing. Let's get into it. I'm going to start the stream. We'll get chat pulled up as well. And we're going to have a good time. We should have a couple hours today to stream, which is great. I've not streamed Classic WoW in a minute, so I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. Been playing more Skyrim. I've been playing Classic WoW. Let me clarify. I have been playing Classic WoW. It's just I haven't been streaming it. I've been doing some little snippets, like 20-25 minutes here and there, and I've been talking about different topics for my 100-day challenge. The last one was, why did I start a YouTube channel? The one before that was maybe Skyrim playthrough, and then I don't know, there's been a few others. Oh, I talked a little bit about the OSRS membership price increase. So if you're interested in watching any of that, be sure to check out my second channel. It is ZMAC Plus. We're doing the 100-day challenge where I try to upload a video every single day for 100 days straight. And a challenge it has been, but we're 27 days in, so quarter of the way through. The point of the challenge is not to hit it big, to become viral, to do anything like that. The point of the challenge is to teach myself consistency, to teach myself that I don't need to be perfect. I tend to have a habit of perfectionism, and I need to learn to be okay with putting stuff out there, getting my thoughts known, and it not being, you know, super well polished. If there's little mistakes, little flaws here and there, that's okay. And learning to be okay with views, like low viewership videos. That's something that I kind of struggle with, especially just like on my main channel. I really fear that, but in this other channel, it just doesn't matter as much. So I'm just allowing myself to, you know, do whatever over there, get some communication reps in. Hopefully it's going to help me in my communication, grow me as an entertainer, as a streamer. So all those different things. We have here the Alarian Stronghold. Now this little town, whatever you want to call it, is actually one of my favorite spots so far in TBC. It's unlike any other town that I have come across thus far in Classic WoW. Most of the towns that you come across are more, they're usually a little bit smaller. They're not as well defined. Like you've got Stormwind, but it's an actual city, so it's a very well-defined, large, you know, outpost or landmark, whatever you want to call it. But there's something about the Alarian Stronghold. I guess it kind of reminds me, this, I'm fairly confident this is like a similar asset to Lakeshire, is it not? The clock looks eerily similar. But there's something about the environment surrounding the town, all these trees. It kind of reminds me of the architecture, kind of reminds me of Aladdin, like the old school Aladdin a little bit. I don't know, maybe I'm totally off with that. But then you've got this really cool aesthetically pleasing water wheel right here. I think that's the first one that I've seen so far in Classic WoW. But yeah, I was trying to decide, should I go to Nagrand or should I do Terokkar Forest? And I looked at some of the quests in Alarian Stronghold and I realized, well, these are 62, 63, 64. If I jump to Nagrand, which are mostly 65, 66. I am level 66, but I think I would probably surpass this entire questing opportunity. So I wanted to come here, go to the Illyrian Stronghold, and start some questing. What's up, Purple Fish? How is it going, my friend? Welcome to the stream. What zone are you starting today? We are going to be doing the Terokkar Forest. I mentioned earlier, there are some parts that have been revealed on the map, but I have not done any questing in this zone. I just ran to Shatrath City, and then I got summoned. You can see there's no connecting point between the dungeons over here and Shatrath City because I've gotten summoned, and then I ran to Illyrian Stronghold to get to an inn or something like that. But I haven't really explored much of the zone. I haven't done any questing, so I'm really excited. Do all the zones you can. Do all the zones you can do, by the way, even if you're level 70. XP gets turned into gold. Nice. Okay, so let's run around here. I might have to clean up. Ooh, you hate to see that. Even with the increase of quest log slots, I'm almost maxed out. Dang it. I think what I'm gonna have to do is say goodbye to some of these Hellfire Peninsula quests, which is sad, but we're pretty well. Hellfire Peninsula is pretty far behind us at this point, so we're just gonna get rid of these, make some room for out with the old, in with the new. I'm not sure what this is. Blade Edge Mountains. Oh wait, I do. That's the northern part of Zangarmarsh. What else do we have? Still have a bunch of quests from Zangarmarsh, which is kind of surprising. I feel like I've gotten a lot of those done, but you know, I think there's quite a few. If I look at here, oh, there actually were. I probably could have kept doing a few more of these. That's all right. Maybe we drop this one now that we're still friends, but I think that one should be pretty easy to pick back up. And there we go. Let's run around and start collecting some of these quests here for the Terokkar Forest. Got my coffee. We are good to go. Let's turn on this game volume a little bit. I turned the volume a little bit up for my Skyrim playthrough because people that are watching that tend to want to hear the dialogue and everything a little bit more clearly. It's helpful when you're playing a game and people can hear what the NPCs are actually saying. But that doesn't really happen in Classic WoW. You can read just about everything. But here we go. Styming the Arakoa. We need to show the Arakoa that they cannot attack our people with impunity. If we don't stop them here, the roads will no longer be safe for our merchants, couriers, or soldiers. My scouts have identified the leaders of each of the major Arakoa settlements in the area. Seek out Ashkas, Ayit, and Urdak in Vale Resk, Vale Shinor, and Vale Skith and kill them. Okay. Pretty much just going to be collecting everything that we can. Let's go check out the city hall. Rosaleth. Let's see what Rosaleth wants. When I first arrived, I'd hoped to meet the town's namesake. Rosaleth glances around. Most young high elves outgrow the I want to be a far strider phase by the time they're taken as apprentices. Then it's on to the I'm going to be a magister stage. I don't think I ever quite outgrew the far strider phase, to be honest. No one dreams of growing up to be a seamstress. But we can't have the far striders running around naked, as my mother used to say. Olemba seeds. Aren't the trees in the forest beautiful? I've often wondered if they would survive on the Azeroth. I'm hesitant to send back seedlings, though. It's a rough trip. They're much harder to transport than something like a sack of seeds. The seeds are stored in tough cones that fall from the tree's branches once they've reached maturity. If you come upon some of these cones in your travels, would you mind bringing some of the seeds back to me? Sure. If I just happen to stumble upon some seeds, I can bring them back to you, no problem. Got a couple more quests here. Lady Dina, standing over here in the corner. Secrets of the Arakoa. Out here on the frontier, we have to deal with the Arakoa every day. They strike at us when they please, raiding our supply lines and killing our scouts. Yet we know very little about these enigmatic creatures. I've received news that northwest of here in Shara City, there are Terokkar not hostile. They might be willing to share the secrets of their race. Rilak the Redeemed is their leader. He resides in the northern part of the lower city. Interesting. Lady Dina Kennedy wants you to seek out Rilak the Redeemed in Sharath and find out what secrets he will share of the Terokkar. Interesting. So we've got this enemy race called the Terokkar, clearly, but apparently there's some good guys. There are some good Terokkar as well. I want to get rid of this one, because I know I'm not going to be doing that one. I could probably get rid of... It kind of sucks to just... I already did this. I could just turn it in. I don't want to get rid of that. Bring me a shrubbery. I'll have to do these. Are these for what? Slave pens? Underbog. I haven't done the underbog. Are these all for the underbog? Yeah. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to be doing the underbog at some point. I don't know when, but we'll have to do it at some point. All right. Speak with Private Weeks. Reports just come in from one of our scouts near Gringelvar village. It says that a shadowy band has moved into the ruins there. Z-Mac, I want you to speak with Private Weeks and see how you can assist him to figure out what his unknown group is up to. I just head west past Stonebreaker Holt. His last report puts his position near the north entrance to the village. Come back! No! Why are you walking away from me? Trying to talk to you, sir. Locate and speak with Private Weeks near the north entrance to Gringal Village in Terokkar, of course. Captain, sir, we have a slight problem. Oh, someone must have started a cinematic or something. In the flock. Terokkar have attacked us again, this time striking the night, then using their dark magic to escape before we can marshal our soldiers. Vilrask and Vilshanor lie to the north and northwest. Find these Terokkar and kill as many as you can. They may not fear, but at least we can thin their numbers. Lieutenant Colonel asks you that you kill 14 Shinor Talonites and 6 Shinor sorcerers, then return to him. Alright. Sounds good, sounds good. We'll kill quests. Shouldn't be too difficult. I'm gonna hold off with the wanted quests. I guess we could take a look at it really quick. Oh, the bounties declared on the Bone Lashers of the Bone Waste. They can be found throughout the waste. They are known to congregate at Carrion Hill in the north. Never mind, I'm gonna take this. Usually, a wanted quest, some sort of bounty, involves an elite mob, and I need to find someone else that can help me with the quest. But if it's just 20 regular mobs, like I can do that, no problem. Unruly neighbors. Have you seen the way Rosalith winks at me whenever I go back to pick up garments? When things settle down around here, I'm going to take her for a nice walk in the woods. For once, I miss all those fancy taverns in Storming. Unruly neighbors. Recent arrival of the Feltworks. The ruins to the east, build puzzles and troubles Thander. They wasted no time in starting to construct fortifications and repair the buildings. The construction goes on day and night. I've dispatched one of my most reliable agents to keep watch, but we can ill afford to delay action. Move against their workers and seek out Feloria, Shadecloak at the Illyrian Post, to the north of the Bone Chewer Ruins. She'll give you further instructions. 12 warped peons. See you around. And this one, Timberwarg Tales. Have you come across the Timberwargs in your travels? I had the opportunity to observe while mapping some of the northern reaches of the forest. No fear of us, won't hesitate to defend their territory. It's fitting that such a creature would have a magnificent tail. I've been trying to collect enough of them to trim a new cloak, but the wargs have a bit of evading my snares. Will you help? Or tell him that the Illyrian stronghold wants you to bring him 12 Timberwarg Tails. Tails can come from either Timberwargs or Timberwarg Alphas. Alrighty. There's actually a question mark over here. Let's see if we can turn in quests. Maybe we can free up a little bit of questing space. Who knows? Andarl, the fate of Turem. How may I help you? Ooh, can we read this letter? Nope. I noticed that in Vanilla WoW, A lot of these letters and notes and stuff that you got for quests, you could open them up, read them if you wanted to get a little bit more information. But in TBC Classic, I've yet to be handed a note or letter that I can actually open and read. I don't think there's been any that I can think of, which is kind of sad. I remember hearing our scouts speak of the ruins of a Draenei settlement in the forest northern reaches. I don't know much about the ruins personally, but you're welcome to talk to some of the scouts. Alright, we got rid of one, which opens up one more slot. Magical disturbances. It's embarrassing to admit this, but something has happened to me here in Terokkar Forest that hasn't occurred since my apprentice days. Occasionally, my spells will fizzle when I know I've done everything correctly. I almost drove myself crazy the first time it happened. I think I've found the cause. The forest is full of creatures called warp stalkers, demonic creatures with affinity for magic and a habit of disturbing magical flows. The best way to deal with them is simply to kill them. Kill 10 warp stalkers. Now, let's see. Have we gotten all the quests? Actually, wow. It was destiny. It was fate, ladies and gentlemen. I got the perfect amount of quests to fill up my quest log. All right. Let's see. Wanted Bone Lasher's dead. So we just start going killing some Bone Lashers. You can collect a bunch of Olemba seeds. Holy quest icons. There's so much to see and do. Let's go this way. We'll do these at some point. I kind of want to see. I want to see what the landscape is over here. I want to do a little bit of an exploration. See what I can find. I really do love this. I love this biome. It's really interesting. It's a forest, but it has a different feel than something like the Elwyn Forest. The Elwyn Forest is bright, it's colorful, it's warm. The sun shines through. The Terokkar Forest feels much more mystical. Almost like there's some sort of heavy spell hovering over the land. Like you've got this fog. Everything is a little bit more grayscale. It's beautiful in its own sense, but it feels like that one friend that you have that no matter what happens, he's just like this. He's just monotone, even keeled. And there's certain aspects of that you love and you appreciate. But then there's other times where you're like, hey, can you give me a smile? Can you laugh? Are you human? Do you have emotions? Just kind of running around seeing, ooh, what are these? Prehistoric devourers, kind of look like dinosaurs. Interesting. Almost like 6-legged turtle dinosaurs, but also maybe more lizard-like than dinosaur-like. They've got the little lizard ears on them. I mean, lizards and dinosaurs, they're really not too far apart, are they? But we are looking for Timberwork tails. What's a horde player? What else are we looking for? I do really like the fact that, like I was saying, the light is shining through, but it's just doesn't feel quite the same as Elwyn Forest light. It's more of this gray. I think that's what I need right there. This warp stalker. Where'd he go? He disappeared. There he is. Hello, Mr. Warp Stalker. Someone just asked if they can join our guild. They can. You can join the guild. Absolutely. I'll be honest, our guild, Mac and Cheese, it's kind of on its last limb. But hey, I'll send you an invite, sure. Why not? Why not? We can invite someone to our dead and dying guild. No one's really active anymore. You can look. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We only have 10 members of our 32 that have been playing in the last month, which is not great.
I don't have a target.
Come back here, wherever you are. There you are. I guess I didn't really realize that mobs can go completely invisible. I knew that they could get into that more camouflage state, but I didn't know they could just disappear entirely.
I need to target something first.
They're just not targetable either? Let's give a little... Hello! I'm gonna break the news to Mystic Nikki that the guild's not doing so hot. Alright, take down the warp stalker. Like we got a little fisher over here, Mr. Battle Grits. Okay. Let me... Unfortunately... yeah. It's right. Oh, what should I say to this person? To be honest, Mystic Nikki, the guild has kind of fallen to the wayside. Not many people that are playing anymore. The reason that I'm telling people, I'm just not trying to sugarcoat it or hide behind the fact that the guild is dying, because I think it's unfair to hold people hostage or make them feel obligated to stay or to join a guild if it's, you know, if it's dead or whatever. Mystic Nikki said it. It's all good. Alrighty. That's totally fine. I just want to make sure that if there's anyone out there that's part of the guilds or has thought about joining the guilds, that they know what they're getting themselves into. And I don't want anyone feeling like, oh, I need to stay. I don't want to hurt ZMAX's feelings. Like, you're not. Trust me, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just happy to know that I'm not the reason that the guild is dead. I genuinely thought that I might not be able to be consistent and play enough to be active with the guild, but in reality, I've actually been pretty active, more active than most people in it. I watch probably your stuff. I enjoy it. Awesome. So glad to hear that. I thought I was going to be the reason that the guild died, and everyone's going to be pissed because ZMAX not playing and ZMAX not active. What the heck? He started this guild, but that's not actually what happened. I think what happened was a lot of people got really excited when TBC Classic came out, and maybe they bit off a little more than they can chew. They either joined the guilds with a alt that they thought they could have time to level and play, and that's just not happening, or they got excited and thought that they had time to play Classic WoW in general, and that's not happening either. So here we sit, a dead and dying mac and cheese guild. Should probably put some of my buffs on, huh? What do you think? Classic ZMAC move. Wasn't even paying attention. Let's get some water. Fill up on some mana. So don't change, it's perfect. Thank you, Mystic Nikki. I appreciate those kind words. I thought I sat down to drink some water, but apparently I did not. Apparently, I did not. Mm-hmm. It's good. Good stuff. Eat some food. Make some food, I should say. Let's get a little bit more water. Maybe a couple more stacks. We should be fine. We'll make a... What else here? Make our ruby. Just in case. I'm pretty well leveled for this zone, so I don't think I should come across anything that's going to give me too much trouble. But better to be safe than sorry. My character just disappeared. Looks like I'm playing Fortnite. I'm waiting for that last person. The circle to close in. Once it does, I'm gonna hop out with my shotgun, just clock him right in the face and win. Get that victory royale. How many of you played Fortnite? Or how many of you played it religiously, I should say? How many of you committed to it for a period of time? I'm sorry, Royal Terramoth. I did not mean to get you in the crossfire there. What is this? Time between attacks increased by 20%. Movement speed reduced by 25%. Well, unfortunately, I have to kill this innocent, beautiful Royal Terramoth now. Not part of my original plan, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And actually, this Terramoth is tankier than some of these other warp stalkers. Interrupted. Ow, what did it do to me? There we go. It's been so different now that I don't have Blizzard. I do have Blizzard, but I don't have improved Blizzard because I changed my talents and I don't want to spend the money to change them again. I don't know if it's laziness or if it's just me trying to be conservative with my money. But it's been kind of interesting because I'm no longer doing any AoE farming or anything like that. Just killing them the old-fashioned way, one-on-one. Definitely takes a little bit longer, but I also don't know if there's really been that many opportunities in TBC Classic to do like major AoE farming. I guess there is that one spot right outside of the temple. What is it? Temple of Telhamat. They've got like 20, 30 vultures all just stacked on top of each other. That would probably be a pretty good spot. Today's been a good day though. I actually got some okay sleep last night. I want to say I got like 7.5 hours of sleep, so that's great. Zoe's doing her book stuff. She had a little book convention today. It's a very small one, I guess. Texted me. Some of these conventions she does pretty well. She can sell a good amount of books, but this one sounds like it's not very busy. There's not many people there. She's only sold a few books, so she's a little bit disappointed, but it's all right. I told her the important thing is that you showed up and that you're putting forth some effort, because that's the most important thing in the end. You know exactly how many books you're going to sell if you don't go to these events, but you never know what happens if you end up going to them. So proud of her for that. Stepping out, taking a leap of faith. And either way, even if she doesn't sell a ton of books, she always gets something out of these events. Usually some sort of connection. I think she texted me. Someone found out that we were expecting one of these author friends of hers, and they knitted her a blanket. They just decided that they wanted to knit a blanket for our upcoming baby. So that was pretty cool. Actually might be calling her right now. I feel my phone buzzing. No. Go to oh wow. It's so funny as I didn't feel like my video was that controversial, but apparently it was. Apparently the TBC Classic First Impressions video is a controversial take. The thing that I kind of knew that the intro, when I put in the housing and when the director or whoever that is made the comment, someone joked about, I wish we hadn't called it Warcraft. First of all, when I saw that, I was so taken aback. That makes zero sense to me. I cannot believe a director of World of Warcraft would ever let those words come out of their mouth. Like, you know, this is one of the staple games, MMOs, for millions of people that grew up loving, and like the title World of Warcraft is held in such honor and high esteem in their hearts. And then to make some comment about, yeah, so and so joked, I wish we hadn't called it Warcraft, sounds intimidating, just is a complete backslap.
That spell isn't ready yet.
It's just a complete slap in the face to the entire World of Warcraft community that love this game. Yeah, like, just after 20 years of success and development, then to be like, I wish we had called it something different. I don't know. It just did not sit well with me. Clearly, it did not sit well with Zaryu either. But anyways, I just got a comment from someone that it wasn't a very nice comment. They weren't happy that I said something about that. So I kind of knew, I knew that might be, that might ruffle some feathers a little bit. And I'm okay with that. The point of that intro was not necessarily to hate specifically on housing or that explicit statement that the lady made, although I thought it was pretty crazy. It's more of an opportunity to shine light on the shift in focus that the devs used to have with vanilla World of Warcraft, and now where their focus is today. I think that's the takeaway from that intro of the TBC Classic First Impressions. It's not to target or attack those specific areas. It's more just to shine light on the fact that, look, there's a lot of people in the Classic WoW community that are not happy with the direction that retail WoW has gone over the last 5 to 10 years. And this is just a symptom. These little examples are just symptoms of what we're talking about, or what they're talking about. So it wasn't meant to be slanderous. It wasn't meant to be offensive or combative, but at the same time, I understand why some people, if you're someone that loves housing and retail WoW, you're not gonna like when someone says that maybe housing isn't the best use of the developer's time. Good morning, Coach Huck. How's it going? Welcome. I'm glad to see you, Coach Huck. I've been mostly talking to myself for the last 30 minutes, so it's nice to have someone hop in here and say hello. As much as I love talking to myself, and I will say I've gotten pretty good at it, I have started to master the art of keeping myself company. But it's always nice to have someone else join. So welcome, welcome. How are you? Heck? Be like that sometimes, especially with content creation. Mostly with streaming. See, I like YouTube and creating videos because if no one watches your video, it just doesn't really matter. I guess, you know, it kind of sucks when you create a video and no one watches it, but there's something worse about streaming for 2 to 3 hours at a time and trying to talk to people and be, you know, entertaining or whatever. And then there's just no one on the other side of the screen. You're just talking to yourself. There's something that just kind of eats at your soul. I will say there's probably people out there that are more extroverted and they can just talk to themselves all day, every day, like my wife. And they walk away from that streaming session just feeling invigorated and excited about life because it doesn't matter if they were talking to anyone, they were talking to themselves. So life's good. For me, talking to myself is pretty draining. And I gotta go like sit in a corner and stare at a wall for 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Your edits are great. Thank you, thank you. Which server are you on? I'm on Dream Scythe. Good old Dream Scythe. The mega PvE server for US Classic Anniversary Realms. All right, we need to keep killing some more of these Warp Stalkers and the Wolf Alpha people. Oh, that's true. I can talk to myself for hours when recording something, but the minute I'm live, I feel so awkward. No, it's true. It's definitely a skill. It's a skill. So I've been working on it, and I'm getting more comfortable with the idea of just hitting the record button, hitting the go live button, and just talking to myself, hanging out with myself, and just becoming comfortable hanging out with myself. It's probably one of the key characteristics of successful streamers, in my opinion. Can you hang out with yourself for 2 hours, for 3 hours, 4 hours, however long it is? If you can hang out with yourself, keep yourself busy and talk for 3 to 4 hours at a time without anyone watching, eventually, or 8 hours, yeah, eventually, someone will come along and be like, hey, this guy can keep himself occupied for 3 or 4 hours. Maybe I'll sit in and hear what he has to say. Oh, I almost aggroed that royal Terramon. Do not want to do that. Oh. Nice, same. I have a level 11 undead rogue and a level 8 human warrior on there. Nice. Very nice. The good old days of pre-level 20 when World of Warcraft is fun and semi-fast paced. You actually get to enjoy the dopamine rush of hitting levels and getting new abilities and new zones and all that stuff. Those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. Now we go to these new zones and we get all these quests, and it takes 1 to 2 hours just to get, you know, quarter of the way up your XP bar. I've just stopped looking at my XP bar as of late. I've just learned that I don't care. I'm just here chilling to have a good time. When I hit level 70, I'll hit level 70, and that'll be that. Not worried about how long it's taking, what all I'm missing out on, all the raids and dungeons and gear that I'm not getting compared to other people. Just having a good time, man. Enjoying the journey. What it's all about. I feel like I haven't gotten many of the items that I need from these things. The warg tails. Actually, I just got one. Timber Warg Alpha. Have you made it this far ever, Coach Huck? Have you made it to the TBC area? Hellfire Peninsula, Zanger Marsh, Terokkar Forest. Pretty good time. It's like the epitome of chill gaming. Everything you do in questing takes 2 to 3 hours at a time. I guess it just depends on the quest. Sometimes I can get quests done in like 30 minutes. Warrior's so difficult early on. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. I have a level 20 orc warrior. And I feel like the first 4 to 5 levels, this was my experience. Let me know if this is the same for you. The first 4 or 5 levels were so easy. I mean, it was easy mode, and then all of a sudden I started really struggling and dying. Once I got to like level 8 or 9, a bunch of these mobs just started kicking my butt. I don't know why, I don't know what happened, but I started dying a lot more. I started getting more. I think one of the hardest things about warrior is you can't kite. It's very difficult to kite, and it's very difficult to get like single mob aggro because you have to run in. Well, actually, so someone did say you can pick up a bow, and I think that's probably where I went wrong. You can get a bow and you can pick mobs off to get aggro, bring them away, and then sorry, I didn't know that at the time. So I would run in and I would try to just kill one at a time, but then I would aggro 2, 3, and I would end up dying. I remember specifically, for some reason, the lions in the barrens. The lions in the barrens just gave me so much trouble. I died to them all the freaking time. Yeah, the mobs, it's so difficult. Damn, I should do that. Play how you want to play. Play how you want to play. But if you do want to try it out, I think you'll have to don't hold me to that. You'll have to check. See if that's actually a thing. But I'm pretty sure a lot of warriors will learn the bow. They'll equip the bow, shoot one mob, kite it into a safer area so that they can kill the mob without dying. We've got some of these seeds here. Whew. That went down the wrong pipe. Ooh. Where can you learn bow? What character is this? Human warrior? You can go to Stormwind City. There is a weapon trainer. So, if you know the little general store that a lot of people go to, it's right in the center of town. It's kind of close to the auction house. It's right across. When you exit the auction house, there's like a weapon trainer, weapon vendor that you can go to. And they should be able to teach you to learn the bow. If I'm not mistaken. You might want to look it up and double check. Because if that's not the case, I would like to know as well, so I don't steer people wrong. That's what I did with my mage, though. I learned that I could learn how to use daggers. And I learned from that guy in Stormwind. You'll have to make sure you level up the weapon first. I don't know if have you learned other weapons before? Is that your first one? I think that's crossbows in Stormwind. Ooh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You might have to maybe ask someone who's more knowledgeable than me. I mean, you could look it up too. If only I blame myself for this, truly. If only this was a bigger stream. If we had more people in here, then you would get the answer instantly.
I don't have a target.
So this really is my fault for not having enough people in the stream. I need to get better.
That's better.
Need to become more entertaining. Need to become more well known. Then you can come into this stream and ask whatever question you want, and you'll get 100 answers. Most of them will probably be wrong, but at least you'll get some answers. Yeah, I will. Sorry for asking so much. Coach Huck, please do not apologize for asking questions. Please, I beg you to ask more questions. More questions that people ask me, the better the stream is. The more easily it is to keep conversation flowing. Don't ever apologize for asking questions. Unless it's extremely offensive or vulgar. But even then, you know, I'd take that over nothing. So, at least we'd have a little something to talk about. Sometimes people come into your stream and they start trolling you. That makes for some good content. That makes for some good stream discussion. It's actually a blessing in disguise. The person has come to gaslight you and troll you, but what they've really come to do is bless you with some content creation. A little extra content. Ugh. I went to the gym this morning. My neck is... I don't know what I did. Got a little kink in my neck right now. Maybe I just slept on it wrong. That's probably more likely because I wasn't doing any crazy exercises or anything like that. Ooh, here's one. Right now we are just killing some Timber Warg alphas, trying to collect some of the Warg tails that they have to offer. Doing a very terrible job at it too. I don't know how many do I have? Let's see. Let's get rid of this and get this. Bring this out. I have 5 of 12. I've definitely killed more than 5 wolves at this point. Nice. I went last night. Sick. What'd you do? Your name is Coach Huck, so I would assume that you're pretty heavy into fitness, exercise, sports, whatever it might be. What's your workout regimen? Do you do isolated workouts? Do you do full body workouts? Chest / push day. Nice, nice. So I was there for a little bit doing more, you know, isolated, dedicated weightlifting days before my disc herniation. Now, the only thing I really do is legs and more legs and back, but very, very light on the back. But seriously, I've never worked out my legs so much in my life, which is probably where the problem began with. I probably just should have been doing legs way more, and maybe I wouldn't have had this disc herniation problem. But yeah, my PT pretty much has me doing legs twice a week. He'll try to switch things up so it's not the exact same muscle group every single time. And then I try to go once or twice apart from the physical therapy as well. And I usually do more flexibility, mobility type of stuff with a little bit of strength weightlifting in there. My ideal week is Tuesday physical therapy, Wednesday do a light workout, Thursday physical therapy, and then Saturday do a light workout. That's kind of where I'm at right now. It doesn't always work out. The last month, my family has just been sick. We have had a non-stop barrage of sickness, and it kind of sucks. I was sick, and then a few weeks later, my wife got sick. Then the next week, I got sick. My daughter got sick. Then we all started to get better, and then I got sick again. Then my daughter got pink eye, and now my wife's got a little something. So, just it's been. Oh wait, how did Did he tag that? That was kind of crazy. It really sucks when you've got a goal and you want to go to the gym, you want to get some things done, but you can't because you just keep getting sick. And the bigger thing is my wife works 2 days out of the week. So Wednesday, my wife's working and I'm sick or she's sick, we just can't go. Well, obviously, if I'm sick, I'm not going to go. But if she's sick, I can't go either because they provide daycare, but they will not take children that are sick. And they definitely were not going to take a child with pink eye. Because that's pretty contagious stuff. No one wants to put their kid in daycare with a little child that has pink eye. That's what I focus my content on. Push day, pull day, leg day. Hopefully everyone is feeling better. I know. Thank you. Appreciate that. I hope so too. I hope so too. I mean, we are trying to be healthy individuals. I think one of my issues, my weaknesses in life is sleep. I don't sleep as much as I should. I know it. I know it. Let's get this out. I haven't used this yet. Here. Do some damage. There we go. I work full time and then taking care of a family, spending time with my daughter and wife, other responsibilities, on top of trying to do the YouTube channel and streaming and all that stuff. It's just, it's a lot. I usually find myself around 10:30, 11 with the conundrum of, should I keep working? Should I just go to bed? And then even beyond that, even if I'm like, you know what, let's try and go to bed, I'll usually like turn on a TV show and try and fall asleep. And it's pretty typical for me to not fall asleep till like 11:30 midnight, and then I'm getting up around 6:30. So I probably should try and get a little bit more sleep in my schedule, but I don't know, it is what it is. I'd rather lose a little bit of sleep and be able to do more stuff in the day. Feel a little bit more tired. At some point though, I know it's gonna catch up to me and I need to try and be a little bit more disciplined, go to sleep at better hours. For some people, it's so funny. Not a ton of people in my life know that I even have a YouTube channel, but they'll make comments like, oh man, I stayed up till 10 p.m. last night. I'm so tired. I'm like, bro, I don't go to bed before 10 p.m. ever. That's not even a thing. And, or they'll be like, yeah, I usually go to bed around 8:30, 9. I'm just like, that just doesn't even compute to me. That's when my night is just beginning. Like if I went to bed at 8:30 or 9, the YouTube channel would not exist. So, and the only other time that I have to work on stuff for the YouTube channel is like right now on Wednesdays and weekends because my daughter takes her naps around those times. I try to make a point. There are occasions. So if I'm like working on a video for a long period of time and it's getting really close to release day. So let's say the video is almost done. I want it to get it out by Thursday and I just don't have the time to dedicate, or I won't have enough time in just the dedicated time slot that I usually use it for. I will talk to Zoe, be like, hey, I really need to put a little extra time and hours into this outside of when my daughter's asleep. So sometimes I will do that, but for the most part, I try and avoid and just be present with them whenever I'm awake, whenever she's awake. I'm a terrible sleeper too. I think it kind of comes with the territory. If you're a gamer, World of Warcraft player, any MMO player really, we probably tend to struggle in the sleep department. This is just one of those quests, man. This is one of those RNG quests. You just run around, kind of forget about life, forget about what's happening in the world, and you just accept it for what it is. You know that you're probably gonna end up killing 100 of these wolves before you actually get the items that you need. Well, like I said. But it's okay. It's okay. Where else are we going here? Let's try and find some more wolves. Looks like there's a bunch, maybe this way. Ooh, what is that? Warp stalkers. Plenty of these warp stalkers. Plenty of warp stalkers, plenty of royal terramoths. Harder to find these wolves. The wargs, I should say. On one of my other warriors, a level 70 came along and offered to run me through some dungeons for some better loot. Nice. Very nice. Very kind of them. Very kind of them. Bloody Fangs. I'm not really looking for Bloody Fangs. Hey, Z-Mac, was going to mention that if you ever need help with anything or have questions, feel free to let me know. Thank you, CrimeZ. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What dungeon are they running you through? Dead Mines? Ugh. I'd love to do a little Dead Mines run right about now. I miss those days. I miss Westfall. I was so young, so innocent, so naive. Just a sweet summer child, as so many YouTube commenters like to make me aware of. People say that in my YouTube videos all the time. Sweet summer child. That's how I like it. Video games are so much more fun when you just have no idea what's going on and you approach them to just have fun and not worry about being perfect, not worry about optimizing, having everything together. When you just go in, you're not watching guides or anything like that. You're just going in for the experience. You just don't have a care in the world. That's the best. That is the best. I still feel that way a little bit, but not quite as much as I did when I first started out with Classic WoW. All right, can we get a tail? We got one. Nice. I think it was a couple weeks ago. Do you have a guild? I do have a guild. You can join it if you want. It's pretty much dead and dying, but you can join it. You're more than welcome. I think we've got 33 members. Just had someone else join today. But lots of people got excited. We bit off a little more than they could chew with the guild. A lot of people joined with alts, and I think that they thought maybe they could fit in. They thought that maybe they'd have enough time to play their main and an alt and be a part of the guild, but that just didn't really happen. I just checked, we have less than 10 people that have played within the last week, let alone people that are running dungeons and doing raids and stuff. Well, if it helps, I have no clue how they work. Are you on right now? Wait. Which server are you on? Did you say? Oh yeah. What's your name? I mean, you can join the guild, man. By all means, we'd love to have you. Just send me your username. I'll invite you right now. No questions asked. Just got to get a quick background check. It'll take 2 weeks to process, and that will cost you $100. Oops. I just sent it. Welcome to Mac and Cheese, Coach Huck, our newest member. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. I think it's so funny. I had someone, he's one of my most avid second channel watchers for my 100-day challenge and stream clips and highlights and topical discussions and stuff like that. His name's Jose. He watches almost all my videos, and he's probably watching this one right now. Hello, Jose. Jose said he finds my classic WoW streams more engaging. And I challenged him on that. I said, how could you possibly think that's true? I am literally running around killing the same mob type for hours on end. And he was comparing it to Skyrim. Whereas I've never played Skyrim, and in Skyrim, every single situation is pretty much new and different. There's really no grinding mobs or anything like that. Everything is more linear, story driven. I'm like, how could you possibly think that my classic WoW streams are more engaging than Skyrim streams? This is, it doesn't really compute. It doesn't really make sense to me. Why is that thing red? We're close. We're close. We've got 10 out of 12 Timber Warg Ales. Why is this thing running away? Guess maybe someone just ran through here. Nice, thanks, man. Now what? Good question. If I knew, I would tell you what to do. No, the truth is, our guild is just, like I said, it's very small. Not many people active. So typically, if you were a part of a guild, everyone would be talking. You'd see the guild chat flowing constantly. I mean, there's guilds out there, it's up to 1,000 people. So there's guilds out there that are full. And the guild chat is just constantly going. So first off, it's just the community aspect. You can, you know, talk with people, hang out, chat as you're leveling. You could also ask questions like you did earlier about where can you learn how to play as a bow player. An active guild would be a great place to ask that question. Maybe Falcon knows. And then the other thing is, when you have 1,000 people in your guild, there's bound to be other players that are close to your level. So you can, if you need to do a dungeon or something along those lines as you're leveling, or you need help with a quest, a lot of times you just pop in there to your guild. Hey, can someone help me with this? And guild members tend to be more friendly and helpful, ready to help you out with whatever you need. How do I know this? Because I was a part of an incredible guild when I played New World. If it wasn't for my guild, or my company, it's called a company, but it's basically a guild. If it wasn't for my company in New World, I wouldn't have played that game for even a fraction as long as I did. I had the greatest guild of all time in New World. And a lot of guilds, at least mine, they had Discord channels where people would be active in the voice channels all the time. I could pretty much count on someone being in a voice channel almost at all points of the day when I was playing New World, which was crazy. And you just hop in there and you could hang out and chat, and you'd actually become friends. So there are a lot of guilds out there that offer those amenities. Unfortunately, Mac and Cheese is not one of them. That's why I said it's dead and dying, and if you really want to have the true guild experience, probably want to find something that's a little bit bigger, a little bit more active. And it will not hurt my feelings at all. I'm at a family gathering, but wanted to say hi. Hello, Falcon. Welcome. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. It's good to see you. Appreciate it. Ooh, Iron Jaw. What's that? I played New World when it came out, up to level 23, then ran away from it. It's a shame, Falcon. It's a shame. You... Sounds like you played it when the game really sucked. If you were to go back and play it now, you would be amazed. The game is so much better than what it was when it first launched. Unfortunately, it just took too long. They had to spend too much money to get there. And the men in the suits were not happy. They said, no more. No more fun for New World players. I will eventually, yeah. I really enjoyed my time just playing solo too. My first time leveling through Classic WoW. Zimni invites you to join a group. I'm good, thank you, brother. I have everything I need. Thank you very much. Hello. Hi. What else do we need? We need to collect some Olemba seeds. We need to kill some Shinor Talonites. Maybe we can go over there. Do some killing. If I had to choose between the kill quests and the collect quests, I would definitely choose kill quests at any day of the week. I don't mind just running around killing mobs aimlessly, praying to the RNG gods to get the quest items that I need, but there is something something psychologically that after you kill 5 mobs and you just don't get one of the quest item drops, I don't know, it just like irks me. Just like, oh, the odds are not in my favor. I don't like that. Jeez Louise, I'm starting to get a headache, which is really, really unfortunate. I'm gonna maybe drink some water. Very unfortunate. Falcon, I was telling Coach how our family has just been barraged with sickness lately. The last month. I just keep getting sick over and over and over. I can't escape. I can't escape. Maybe that's why my neck is starting to hurt again. Very unfortunate. All right, we need to find some Shinor Talonites. What are these guys? Interesting. Are these like the Talon Guard people? I think so. Ooh, we gotta go get our buffs back up. Excuse me, sorry. So, I've watched back some of my streams and stuff, and every now and then I'll burp into the mic. I'm like, that is so disgusting. I need to learn to not do that. Alright, let's get our buffs back up. Boom. Boom. You know, I could probably swing my mage armor, honestly. These mobs are not that scary. Get a little bit extra mana regen. Allows 30% of your mana regen to continue while casting. Yeah, it's nice. Speaking of, I don't know if I went and got any upgrades from Janaea. I need to do that. So we need to kill 14 of these guys. And then we need to kill 6 of the sorcerers, is that right? Yeah. They are hitting a little bit harder with my mage armor. Is there a level 65 water? I'm still using my level 55 water, but I feel like there's probably something better that I could be using at this point. I know there is, because there's the Draenei water that you can pick up. Ooh, yeah, I think it's doing some damage. I should probably be a little bit more conservative with my health. Shinor Talonites. These creatures are pretty cool looking. Are these the Arakoa mobs, I think? Ooh, we've gotten some decent BOE items. Where are these? Let's make up. I need bags desperately. Oh, Coach Hawk, you will love this. The other day, for my TBC classic video, I created a character called What's in a Name for the sole purpose of getting footage. I created a human warrior, just really quickly needed some footage of someone playing as a level 1 character. Collected the first quest, went to kill a wolf, and my first wolf that I killed dropped a bag. It was crazy. The first wolf, level 1, first mob that I killed, just drops a bag. And I was like, I'm not even gonna play this character. I should probably give this to someone that's actually gonna use it. So there was another player, a new character had running around. I went up to them, I said, hey, I just got a bag, my first drop, but I'm not gonna be using it. You want it? And they said, yeah, so I traded it to them. I remember my first bag with this character, Mage. It took me a while. I didn't get a bag drop until I was fighting the Murlocs in Elwyn Forest. That was the first organic bag drop that I got. And this was also before I had pretty much anyone watching my stuff consistently, so people weren't really giving me much direction or tips or advice or anything either. So I was just running around with one little bag, I think 8 slots or whatever the original bag is. Maybe it's 16, but yep, I was just running around, no slot spaces, constantly running out of storage. Then once a lot of people started watching some of my videos, people started sending me stuff and I started getting bags for free. a little bit of content creator privilege there, for sure. I'm not complaining though. I did turn them down. I turned down a lot of people that tried to give me free gold though, which is really funny because at the time, like, if someone gave me 5 gold, for me, that was so much. I thought 5 gold was like whoa, like I don't like, thank you, but that's way too generous. Now, if someone offered me 5 gold, I'm like, oh, thanks, appreciate it. Because now I'm much more, I'm used to having a lot more gold in my inventory. 5 gold is like nothing.
I can't cast that yet.
Well, yeah, it's just funny how you're, well, that's kind of true in life though too, right? You remember when you were a kid and you'd get a $5 allowance or whatever, and you just thought that was the best thing in the world? And then as you got older, you started, you know, saving up, and eventually maybe you saved up to $100, then $5 for like, oh, this is nothing. Then you got maybe a little allowance bump, maybe you got $10, and you thought, holy crap, $10 a week, that's double the money. I'm gonna be rich. And you got a little bit older, eventually I got a job. Once you get a job, you start making $7 an hour. Oh my gosh. I used to only make $10 a week. $7 an hour. Whoo! I'm making the big bucks. And a few years of that go by, you're like, man, this sucks. I'm not making any money. And then you get another new job and get a little raise or whatever. I think I went from $7 an hour to a busboy job where I made probably like $10 to $12 an hour. My sister, I remember this explicitly. My first job, I was working at this arcade. We had mini golf, you know, arcade games. they did have some go-karts. I never really worked on the go-karts, batting cages, stuff like that. And I made $7 an hour. My sister got to work at this grocery store, but it was very exclusive and selective. You had to be a certain age, and you kind of had to know someone to get in. They didn't have a spot for me, but she was making $12, $13 an hour. Crazy. For me, and the thing that was just irked me, would get so upset, is she would come home complaining about her job. And I would look at her and I'd be like, you're making double what I'm making. I have to work 2 hours for what you make in 1. Why are you complaining? I was like, I would love to work at that grocery store. Shoot, sign me up. And then a few years go by. I went from busboy at Texas Roadhouse to server. That was like a really big jump for me. Servers at Texas Roadhouse actually can make some decent money if you work consistently and you do a good job. There were some nights where I was bringing in close to like $18, $20 an hour. It just depended though. It's hard to know exactly how much I was making over a long period of time because it was all dependent on tips. We only made $2 an hour and then the rest was tips. So there were some nights where you'd only have a few tables because people would take forever, people wouldn't tip, things like that. And I'd walk away with $15, $20 for 7, 8 hours work. And those were the days that would just kill you. So it kind of balanced out. I'd say somewhere probably around like $15 an hour. But that's just kind of how life goes. You get, I think there's actually a psychological effect of once you experience something for 6 months consistently, that thing loses the original effect, the original dopamine rush that you used to get from it. It takes about 6 months. It takes about 6 months for a emotional high to become nothing, and it takes about 6 months for an emotional low to go back to normal as well. So let's say you win the lottery. About 6 months after you win the lottery, the emotional high that you were experiencing, it's just the new norm. You don't really get the same joy or excitement from the money that you won. Or let's say you get in some sort of accident and you fracture your leg or have like a major injury, something like that. Well, about 6 months after that experience happens, that just becomes your new norm. You're no longer, your brain does not sit in that depressed, sad state for more than 6 months. It almost always just comes back to, this is the new normal. Your brain just adjusts and it brings you back to like an equilibrium. It's kind of interesting. Camshaft, what's up? How's it going? Just doing a little bit of questing here in the Terokkar forest, having a good time. Chilling out. Now, I guess there's something to be taken from that lesson. The reality of life, a lot of times people think that when something really, really good happens, that it's just going to be life-changing and their entire existence is going to be fixed and all their problems are going to go away. But that's not usually the case. About 6 months go by and there's new problems. There's a new normal, new stresses, new challenges that arise. And vice versa. When something bad happens, about 6 months go by, or at first people think this is the worst. This is going to absolutely ruin my life. And sometimes it really is very life-changing, but people tend to think bad things are way worse than what they actually are. And if you just wait about 6 months, it just kind of becomes your new norm, or you learn to adapt or whatever. So I think the lesson to be learned is good things in your life aren't usually as good as you think they are, and bad things in your life usually aren't as bad as you think they are.
That's still recharging.
Nice. How's it going, Camshaft? What are you up to this beautiful Saturday afternoon? It's about 2 o'clock for me where I'm at. I just need, what, 3 more of these sorcerers, wherever they are? Someone else running around killing these guys. Someone's AFK there.
I can't pass that yet.
There's one over there if I can. Oh, wait, that's Ait. That's not. Oh, wait. It says I need to kill him. All right, let's kill him. Ait. Ait. Okay, nice. Did that do anything for me? No. I'm not really sure what that was for. It didn't give me a sorcerer. Oh, there's 2 of them. Let's kill them before someone else gets it. Okay, we got one of them at least. I think this person's gonna get this one. Or maybe they're hearthstoning. I may just bite the bullet and spend some silver on a bag. Level 9 with 1 bag, ain't it? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's worth it. As long as you can afford it, it's 100% worth it. Same, 216 here. Ooh, we need to heal up really quick. Just started Shadow of the Erd Tree. I'm wandering around in it right now. Nice! I've never played Shadow of the Erd Tree. Love Elden Ring. One of my favorite games of all time. I played a little bit, a few months ago when I had my initial injury. I was feeling pretty down, depressed. I wasn't always feeling like playing classic WoW or making content. So I started playing Elden Ring again. It's a ton of fun. The thing that I love about Elden Ring is that it teaches people to never give up. There's something about Elden Ring and Dark Souls that helps heal people's souls. Seriously, like if you're in a low situation in life, just pick up Elden Ring. I remember I was on night shift. The first time I played it, I was on night shift at the surgical trauma ICU. Just pretty down and depressed in life. Just a lot of crap that I was experiencing and seeing in the hospital. And I was working night shifts and pretty lonely, and I started playing Elden Ring just randomly for some reason, and there was something about Elden Ring that allowed me to dedicate a lot of my energy to figuring out how to overcome failure time after time after time. And that actually trickled over into my life, and it helped me grow as a person and learn that, hey, just because you get knocked down 1,000 times does not mean that it's over. You just get back up and you try again. You get back up, you learn, you try again, you try again. Eventually, I basically beat the game. I pretty much say I beat the game. I got to the final boss, and for some reason, I think I fought it 1 or 2 times. I didn't beat it, but in my mind, I knew, like, I'll for sure beat this. I just never quite finished it. I'll have to go back and do that. Dude, yeah, I was playing it again, but wanted a new experience, so I bought the expansion. It was a super good decision. I'm gonna have to try it at some point. I think there were people that had some controversial opinions about it, right? Am I thinking of that right? Some people were saying it was too hard. Or were people saying it was too easy? It was one or the other. I can't remember. If you can play a video game that helps you grow as a person, helps you grow in character in your real life, that is money and time well spent. Doesn't happen very often, but Elden Ring is just one of those games for me. Let's turn to these quests. A little thumbs up there. Thank you, Endaro. Thank goodness. I was beginning to wonder if things had displaced the rest of the forest creatures.
Careful.
Nice, nice. What else? What else? What else? Not Rosaleth. Who is it that we need to talk to? Lieutenant Gravelhammer. He's probably gonna have a follow-up. No, never mind. I thought he was gonna have a little follow-up for me. And then, last but not least, Mr. Bertel.
What can I do for you?
The Timber Wardtails.
Safe travels.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, he does have a follow-up. Old Ironjaw. I did run into him and I killed him, but we'll have to do it again, it looks like. And we could get Helm of the Lupine Cunning. Guys, let's go. I have been waiting for a helmet upgrade. I have had the same helmet for so long, but actually now that I'm looking at it, it might not even be better. Dang it. It is better armor. It does give me more stamina, intellect, and spirit. Considerably more, but it doesn't do more damage. And my Spellweaver's Turban increases the spell hit rating by 8, so I don't know if I'll actually be swapping that out. We will accept it, though. We will accept it. Very nice, very nice. I'm liking the difficulty so far. I'm not going past level 150, so I'm not super broken. In WoW Classic news, though, my brother and I are almost level 50, slowly making our way to TBC. Very nice, Camchat. That's the way to do it. Low and slow. Slow and steady. Enjoy the journey. That's great. All right, guys, it's been fun. It's been an hour and a half. I have a headache. I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to go lay down or something. My head's just not feeling great. Thanks for hanging out with me, Coach Huck, Camshaft, Falcon. Thank you guys. Appreciate the support. I will upload this to my second channel, so it'll count as the day 26 for the 100-day challenge. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of the day. Peace. See you later.